Hey, welcome to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Drive safe, Dave. Hey, top of the morning to you. Producer, always good to see you. And drive safe, I'm telling you, there's something special going on with the producer over there. His hair's a little bit more curly. It's got a little bit more live to it. Producer, you got to share your secrets.
You know what? I don't like to let out family secrets or anything, but my mom might have given me a little ointment, a little oil. She said, hey, whenever I went to go visit her, she told me, hey, your hair is thinning, isn't it? And I was like, thanks, Mom. Merry Christmas to you, too.
Yeah.
And so she made me a nice little oil to
It just
put my
gets
hair.
worse. I'm going to let the producer know. It doesn't.
Yeah, you know what? Your hair is thinning, and yet we're all envious of it right now. That's how bad it gets, producer. I want you to
Maybe
know.
thinning, but it's not gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about masks, we wear the mask, and it's saying, you know what? You look a little bit more sexy with the mask on than you do with the mask off.
I think there's many different styles, and I'm not sure I understand this because I get it, a smile's important, but let me ask you a question.
No, hold on, before you get that, we got one of you, Drive Safe Dave. Producer, give me a Drive Safe Dave with his mask on, and now look at him with it off. I mean, there you if you could, you can pull off the president.
Yeah, and you know what? Which is it? Do you like the camouflage look? Here we go. Can you do a zoom in?
I like it because I can barely understand you. Big fan of that. Who'd you get that from? Your niece and your nephew?
I don't know.
That's like
by the way,
that may not fit the producer.
and then I got the N95, which seems to be the recommended by the CDC. Kind of got a little point to it. I'm not sure, but it
makes you wonder what's under that mask, though. You know what?
Wait a minute. And then you've got the ever-present, always flat, normal mask that everybody wears right here. What are you thinking about this one? Does this make it? Wow. I'm thinking.
I don't know.
Sex symbol?
You tell
Sex
me
symbol?
out there, America. You tell me, is he sexier with it on or with it off? Hey, Dave, but yesterday, we have some weird conversations sometimes. Yesterday we got into, I don't want to say a heated battle, but it was after hours battle. I called him up and I said, because, he's all knowing, and we learned that yesterday from CNN.
Whatever.
We don't know what any of these words. USA. I was scared to ask him that question because I didn't know if he would know what USA stood for yesterday.
Woo!
I stayed clear from that conversation. But yesterday I'm walking and I'm asking Drive Safe Dave, hey, Drive Safe, if you get a positive test on your COVID,
Yes.
does it mean you're positive? He goes, well, yes. I said, so if I go the next day.
Did I say that? I said
Yeah.
more than likely
Okay.
yes.
And if I go the next day or 3 days later and I get a negative,
Yes.
well, it may not be true, though, Rick. The negative could be a false negative, and I'm thinking, well, hold on a second. Do you assume that it's always positive? I mean, when do you go back to work is all I'm saying, because Drive Safe Dave's under the belief that you take a test until it comes back clean.
This is not even the discussion.
Make sense.
This is not even the discussion we had. I just said you're more likely to receive a false positive on a test than you are a false negative on a test than you are on a false positive. I said, however, that's the greatness of this rapid test, is that if you do take one and you get a negative, and after you've been positive, you do go back and you get a negative, then you're probably not as contagious.
So I was reading an article, and I guess the Texas DMV, we don't like some of the plates right now. We're rejecting some of the names on the plates. Is that right?
That is very right. There were over, I believe, 10 or thousands upon thousands of plates.
6,700 last year rejected. So it is a personalized license plate. You get to submit what you want.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then they have a review board of 6 people that go over the plates, and then
You can't just get what you want?
No, you can't just get what you want.
Well, give me an idea of something that was rejected.
Well, okay, personally, I don't think a committee of 6 people should tell me whether or not I can put Dad Bod on the back of my car. I think that's pretty funny, but whatever.
Oh, so these are some of
Stud Muffin. Stud Muffin.
Girl Boss.
Yeah, but what they're trying to do is, they said in the article that they stick away from anything gender related, anything race related, anything having to do with violence, gang related. So what they're trying to do is, and no government agency allowed whatsoever on the plate. So they are pretty restrictive on what you can put on there. So if you want to do something like your university, or if you want to do something like something else that's not as gender related, you can do it.
Captain Morgan's pretty cool there.
Captain Morgan.
I'm a big fan of Captain Morgan.
The one that I really liked here was right underneath salty, and it took me a second to figure out what it said, and I was like, "You annoy you? Oh, you annoy me."
Yeah,
so
you
if you're
annoy me.
tailgating somebody, it's you annoy me.
Like it as well. That would almost be, if I were to wear signs on my shirt, that may be the one I have during BCB Live. You have the detour, and I'd have it like an little arrow pointing that way right here.
Out in Tennessee, they had a trooper out on a interstate actually go out. You got a video on that? Why don't you show that? It's pretty-
Yeah, so here's just a picture of him. First of all, went out with just a shovel
Yeah.
and his truck, dug out 12 vehicles and 2 big trucks from the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, got him moving again and used his truck to push him out. Got him going. Here he is in this pickup truck. He dug out, you can see, he dug out snow up underneath the wheels, and then he's helping to use his four-wheel drive and chains to get him going and to get. I don't know that pushing against the ICC bumper is a good idea, but he's out there trying to get these guys moving out there on the road, doing the hard work.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. Pushing against that ICC bumper, if you've done your pre-trip or you've done a post-trip and you catch it a little rusty, right? And we see the volume right now at 14,825. That's up, Drive Safe Day producer, from last year's at 14,281. And when you look at that second slide now, it's circled in the red. What we want to understand is, we see the trends, and if you look a little bit further ahead, and I don't have that on here, you'll see that we continue to follow that same trend line that we had last year. And if you go to slide 3, you'll see what I'm talking about. We're going up in the blue. Last year was the green. You can see that big dip as we get closer to February. Hey, guess what? We saw the exact same dip today, as we approach the end of the month. It's not crazy. It's still so much more freight than we've ever seen before. And if you look at that fourth slide there, you can go ahead and look at what I'm talking about. And if you look at the years in the past, you'll see that volume at the beginning of the year under that 10,000 mark at 96.31. There's a couple of years mixed in there. It's the same numbers. As a matter of fact, it's the same number every year. But now you see the new trend line. That new trend line pushing greater than the 14,000 mark. That 14,000 is the new trend right now that we've got to realize is real. That's what we've got to expect as trucking companies, as shippers, as receivers. And when we think about all that, we look at the fifth slide, and you can see the same trends tend to happen. If you look at that bottom shelf, you can see the trend lines always remain the same